Okay, part 2 of solving systems of equations by substitution. If you haven't watched the first video, you might want to go and look at that. Here, we're taking it up just a small notch. I want to keep reminding you that the solution to a system of equations is what x and y would equal to make both equations true. In part 1, both equations were in slope-intercept form. They both equaled y. Now they don't. As you can see here, I have y equals 3x plus 22 and x equals 4. So how do I solve this one? Well, it's not too hard. I see that x equals 4, and so I'm just going to put 4 right here where x is, and then I'm going to solve that first equation. So here's how we do this. I'm going to say y equals 3 times what we said x was, 4, plus 22. So y equals 12 plus 22, which means y equals 34. Well, what does x equal? Well, we already told you what x equals. It equals 4, but if you want to see it played out, I'll put it into the first equation. So the first equation was y equals 3x plus 22. And let's say this equals 3x plus 22, and then I'd have to go ahead and solve it. And I have 12 equals 3x divided by 3 divided by 3. Guess what x equals? 4, which is what we said at the beginning. And then again, finally, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write the solution as an ordered pair of 4, 34. All right, let's go on to the next one. This is very similar to the one I did before, but I'll notice that I have an x here and I have an x here. And since x equals 4y, I am just going to take this 4y and I'm going to put it right there. But I'm going to start putting it in with parentheses. Now, there's a reason for that, and it's the next problem we get to that is going to be really helpful. All right, so I'm going to rewrite that first one of y equals 3 times 4y, because that's what x is, plus 22. All right, do you see what I did? I just slid the 4y into x. I plugged it in. It's another way of saying substitution. So now I have y equals, that looks like 12y plus 22. I have to solve for y. Again, we do this so that we can get rid of one of the variables so we can solve for the other one. All right, and then divided by negative 11, divided by negative 11. So y equals negative 2. Finally, I'm going to put that into the equation that started with x equals. I'll do that right here. It said x equals 4 times y. We just said that y is negative 2. So x equals 4 times negative 2, which means x equals negative 8. And if you don't believe me, put both of those into both equations, and it should make them both true. So my final answer is negative 8. Don't forget to always put your x value first, and then your y value. So negative 8, negative 2. You'll notice that this is almost like the two problems we just did. I just added a little bit more to it. But again, x is here and here. And since x equals 4y plus 11, I'm going to put that parenthesis thing in right there. I'm going to plug it in for x right there. And that'll start my problem. So here I go. Y equals 3 times what x equals, which is 4y plus 11 plus 22. So all I did was slide into x what x equals. All right, use distributive property here. So I'll have 12y plus 33 plus 22. And I'm going to do two things at once, actually. I'm going to get rid of the 12y on the right-hand side, and I'm also going to simplify this right here. So 33 plus 22 is 55. Divide by negative 11, and y equals negative 5. All right, what's my next step? My next step is to put it back into the equation. And since I want to know what x equals, I'm going to put it back in the one that starts with x equals. So I have x equals 4y plus 11. Since we said y is negative 5, I'm going to say 4x equals 4 times negative 5 plus 11. That means x equals negative 20 plus 11, which means that x equals negative 9. So my final solution here is negative 9, negative 5. And again, remember to always put the x value in first in the ordered pair. This is the same problem we just did, but I want to share with you that I could have done it a different way. I could have said that y equals 3x plus 22. And instead of doing it the way I just did it, I could have put this in here and and I'm not going to finish the equation because it's going to be the same answer, but then I could have said x equals 4 times what y equaled, then plus 11. And again, I'm putting it into this equation where this is this. All right, I just wanted you to see that you could do it either way. Okay, look at this one. What would you do? Where would you start? Well, look at all the expressions. There's 4 different expressions. Is there any one of them that only has a y or an x? Well, yeah, this one right here. And so this is where I'm going to start. Let me show you on the next page. I'm reading it backwards, but y equals x plus 7. And so I'm going to put x plus 7 right here in the other equation. I'm going to put it right there. And so what I'm going to get is I'm going to get 2x equals, and then what y equals? X plus 7 minus 10. Now in this case, do I really need the parentheses? No, because nothing's multiplying times it. And so it really would just be 2x equals x plus 7 minus 10. All right, let's finish this up. Again, I'm going to do 2 things at once. I'm going to get rid of the x on the right-hand side. So 2x minus x is an x. And at the same time, I'm going to simplify this expression. 7 minus 10 is negative 3. Oh, wow, I'm done. X equals negative 3. All right, so then I'm going to go back into that equation that said x plus 7 equals y. Again, it's just this one right here. And then I said x is negative 3, so negative 3 plus 7 equals y, which means that 4 equals y. And that would be my solution. Again, I'm going to make sure I put my x value first, which is negative 3, and then my y value of 4. And go ahead and check it in the top one right there. What is 2 times negative 3? Negative 6. What is 4 minus 10? Haha, negative 6. It works. All right, here's another one. Where are you going to start? Well, you notice that this y is all by itself. And so that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to put what it equals right here. And so what is y equal in the first one? 6x minus 11. So I'm going to just plug that in here. Another way to say that is I'm going to substitute it in there. And let's see, I'm going to just do it right underneath the problem this time. I'm going to have a negative 2x minus 3. And then what does y equal? 6x minus 11. And that all equals negative 7. I know it's long, but you can do it. This is why we teach you equations before we teach you systems of equations. Negative 3 times 6 is negative 18x. Negative 3 times negative 11 is positive 33 equals negative 7. All right, let's combine like terms here. That will give me a negative 20x plus 33 equals negative 7. Let's get rid of the negative 33. All right, we're going to get a negative 20x equals negative 40. This is becoming easy all of a sudden. Divided by negative 20, divided by negative 20, x equals positive 2. All right, what are you going to do? I'm going to put it back in that first equation of y equals 6x minus 11. And so we have y equals, we said that x was a 2, so we'll put it in there, which means y equals 12 minus 11, and that means y equals 1. So my final solution is, what's my x value? 2, and my y value of 1. One last one. Do this one on your own, then come back and see how you did. All right, here we go. Where did you start? I'm going to start right here because this is the only side that actually has x by itself, and I'm going to put what it equals right up here in the other equation. By the way, if you accidentally put something in its own equation, you're going to get infinitely many solutions, and that wouldn't work. All right, so here we go. I'm going to put 3 times 2y minus 6 because that's what x equals. And then I'm going to finish that equation plus 5y equals 26. One last time, I'm taking this and I'm putting it where x is, which is right here. All right, let's go ahead and distribute 6y minus 18 plus 5y equals 26. Combine my like terms of my y, so I'm going to have 11y minus 18 equals 26 plus 18 plus 18. I'll have 11y equals, it looks like 44. So y equals 4. Great. Now let's go ahead and put that back in for x. I'll do that, I guess, right over here. X equals 2y minus 6. Y is 4, so we're going to say x equals 2 times 4 minus 6. That's 8 minus 6. That means x equals 2. All right, let's go. Final answer, 2, 4. Is that what you got? If not, hopefully you found your mistake, and next time you won't make the same mistake. All right, your turn to try some of these on your own and have some fun.